welcome to the Sci-Fi Invasion. I'm Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this Mill Creek box set in 50 weeks. Today's movie is called Primal Impulse from 1974. However, the original title is called Footprints on the Moon. I don't know why in a sci-fi box set they wouldn't choose a print that had that particular title, because that sounds more science fiction-y. Primal Impulse sounds like a werewolf movie, but it's probably just this is the one they had access to. It probably have a copyright thing. But this movie opens up as if it's a science fiction film. It opens up with a lunar landing and one of the astronauts getting intentionally left behind as part of this horrific, inhumane experiment as to what a human would do. And then it's quickly revealed that that is actually a dream that our main character is having. It's a recurring nightmare. Again, with the credits, a lot of vowels, this is an Italian movie. So I'm like, okay, nice little Italian flick. And then I start to think, this might be a giallo. Now, if you don't know this, I'm a big fan of the giallo film movement from Italy. For those of you who don't know what giallo is, they're basically stylized murder mysteries that have a body count. They're the inspiration for the American slasher movement that happened in the 80s. So I got really excited. It had a lot of things. There's a character that has gaps in her memory. That's a very giallo quote. She is a tourist. Another giallo trope. There is allegedly a murder that might have happened off screen. Another giallo trope. There's actually so there's different waves of giallo. There's a wonderful book by Troy Howarth about the history of giallo. What people tend to think of giallo is not what giallo is. A lot of people think of bright colors and stylized murders, and that's like 1% of the giallo film movement. They're the most known. Some stuff like Blood and Black Lace. A lot of people consider Suspiria a giallo. It's technically not, although it has all the markings of one, but the supernatural element completely deflates that because it's supposed to be human. I don't make the rules, it's just what it is. Although there is another book by another guy, an academic book. I disagree with most of what he says, but he says that Suspiria is something called giallo fantastico, which is basically like a supernatural giallo. I don't know if most people believe that. It was just in a book I read. This movie seems like it's tackling all those giallo tropes, and it seems like Troy Howarth's book about the early giallo, what he called sexy gialli, where there isn't a lot of murder. It's mostly trying to prove, most of the time in those movies, it's a group of characters trying to convince a person they're crazy. Much like the movie The Gaslight. Several Hammer films did that as well early on. So this movie has a lot of stuff I like going into it. And right off the bat, I want to say this is not a bad movie. It might be bad for some people who do not like these kind of films. A lot of people hate Italian movies. So if you're in that camp, this is not for you. As the movie goes on, I do not believe it is a giallo. I think there's an argument to be made that it is. But I personally do not believe it's a giallo, but it has a lot of giallo elements, and that piqued my interest. I really, really like where the movie goes. It's slow, but it's almost like dreamlike. It's this mystery that's unfolding as it goes. There's a character who has gaps in her memory, and she goes to this place to try to remember why she's missing 3 days. And while she's there, she's having more gaps in her memory. She's like, he goes, oh, it's 2 o'clock. No, it's not. It's 5 o'clock. And she's like, I'm missing 2 hours. What's going on? And I don't want to actually spoil the mystery because it's kind of an experience. And if you're into these kind of movies, watch it. If you're not, don't watch it. But yeah, there's a little girl character who's like, oh yeah, you've been here before, but your hair was shorter and a different color. And she's like, what's going on? And it's a fun little mystery. I really enjoyed it. And it's intercut with a lot of these nightmares of a man being left on the moon at the hands of an evil scientist. And it's kind of unclear how that ties into everything until you get to the very end when the mystery is revealed. And it's not a science fiction film, unfortunately. I don't know why it's on the Sci-Fi Invasion box set. These are just nightmares. But it is a wonderful little Italian mystery film. I actually liked it so much I wanted to see if I can get it in HD. It is available in HD, but it's like a German Blu-ray, so I don't know if I'll if I'll get it. But it's like a very like light giallo with only one murder. But I really enjoyed this one. I would definitely recommend it to people like myself who love Italian films. A lot of praise for this one. The only drawback to the movie I really felt was that the print was so bad. But it's called Footprints on the Moon. If you want a higher quality version of it, I'm sure there's one on YouTube. But yeah, I recommend this one. This one's a lot of fun. One of the highlights of this box set for me personally, however, I understand that a lot of people will not like it. But yeah, like this one a lot. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I'm Joey Hollywood. Remember, please be kind and rewind.